Hi, I'm Benton Stokes,
And I'm Elane O'Rourke.
and this is Cocktail Theology. Hi there.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm looking forward to the cocktail that is in front of me just at this moment.
I'm excited about this cocktail. Now, you found this recipe,
I did.
and it's in a foreign language.
It is.
So you're going to have to explain what it is.
So it's called Tinto Verano.
Okay.
Okay, Verano is summer, so that's easy.
Okay.
I can't find a definition for Tinto, but
Okay.
I'm guessing that it's basically a wine-ish beverage.
Okay.
It comes from Spain,
Okay.
so it's of the same ilk as sangria.
A sangria.
So it is red wine, dry red wine, sweet vermouth, and then you can either use a good lemon lime soda, or you can make lemon lime syrup and add soda water to it. Guess which one we did.
That's what we did.
That's what we did. Yeah. So I made the syrup, and we're using Topo Chico. Giving it a shot. What do you think?
That's tasty.
It is tasty. I changed the recipe a little bit because it's me, but I think I would mess with it just a slight bit more than I already did. But I think it could be a good thirst quenching kind of summer drink.
Yeah, it is reminding me a little bit of sangria. It's less fruity,
Right.
but it's still really sweet and light and sparkling, which is lovely. It's really nice.
I upped the sweetness.
Well, it's delicious, and I love it. It is the middle of summer, our
is.
favorite time of year, at least
Yes.
mine. And while it's very, very busy, I am enjoying the long days and the warm temperatures. And this is the exact right drink.
It is the right drink.
On the subject of seasons, we are also tonight going to be talking a bit about nature.
Yes, we are.
And the question is nature holy?
Right. I wanted to talk about this because I admit I'm teasing this out in my own brain.
Okay.
So let me give you why I'm thinking about it.
Okay, sure.
One of our listeners has been exploring his relationship with the earth and with religion that is more tied to the land and nature and growth and fecundity than traditional Western Christianity.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about that and thinking about the reverence various groups hold for land in different ways, right? And the different kind of reverence there is. If you read the books of William Faulkner, there's a reverence for the land, but the land is also terrifying, right? The land can destroy you.
Right.
So there's that, it's got that fear aspect. So I've been trying to think about that, and, I've heard people say that essentially God is nature, nature is God. Make that equivalence. I'm not comfortable with that one. There's something wrong in that.
Yeah.
But I am thinking a lot about the way, say, the Celtic Christians were very, I don't want to say nature because they didn't have anything but nature, right? But they were very connected with the seasons and with the land and with growth and those kinds of things.
Right.
And then, of course, also had, this other spirituality, which is so common, of sprites and, creatures. You get that in Japan, too, right? That kind of runs along with Shinto, is this deep animism religion.
Yeah.
So, all that to say, I've been trying to sort out what I think about creation, nature, whatever you want to call it. But wildness, I guess, maybe. Something like that. So, I don't know. Any thoughts?
I grew up in a tradition that took the creation story very literally.
Okay.
I understand the creation story to be myth. But Creator God is one of the attributes or personalities of God that I am drawn to.
Yes.
God as creator, not just creator, but sustainer of life. And so when I think of nature, sometimes I think of it as the way that God sustains us. God provides for us through nature.
Okay.
And I think about, when God created everything in the creation story, and how with each thing, when God finished, God pronounced it good.
Yes.
Including us.
Right.
That to me is a very beautiful part of the story, that God would pronounce it good. I don't know if good for God means holy, but holy for us kind of means like something to be reverenced, something to be set apart, something to be treated as special and different and unique. It seems like God really treasured what God had created.
Yes.
And probably did treat it that way. In the story, in the beginning, Adam treated it that way. There seemed to be like this sense of wonder, attachment and connection to the earth, but also like a sense of wide-eyedness.
Yes.
About the animals and the rivers and the grass and all of it. And I just, it's like, I just have this picture of Adam sort of frolicking around, and hanging out with God and enjoying what God had created.
Yes.
I think that we have innate in us a connection to nature. We can ignore it, but I think that it is part of us. I think we are drawn to it, and I think there are traditions, religions, cultures that revere that recognize that, and that practice that, and make it a part of their daily life, and also their worship of God. Just like you're talking about our friend, I think having that be a part of your worship and appreciation of God is a perfectly normal and natural thing, because I think we already have in us that desire to be connected to nature in some way.
So what I'm hearing you say is that God as creator and sustainer is connected with nature and appreciates nature, cherishes nature, and you didn't say this, but we're made in God's image. We also have that connection. We also recognize all of that. And it may be that various peoples, for various reasons, are better at that than we are.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I think where I run into problems is the conflation of nature and divinity. The idea that nature is divine in a way that nothing else is except God. And to me, there's that same binary that mind and body are. The idea that nature is good.
Yeah.
Humans, not good.
Not good, sure.
I find that troubling, not just because I'm a human and I want to think of myself as being good, but because we come from that. And we are connected to it, whether we like it or not. We're dependent on it, whether we like it or not. So that division between nature having divinity or being the divine, which is a whole different problem, and us not, or cities not, or, I have problems with that.
Yes.
I think about the fact that we both like architecture. And I think about when we see a piece of architecture that's clearly inspired and carefully wrought and beautiful, I have trouble saying that God's not in that, but God is in the tree planted in front of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
So I think I don't want to give nature, whatever that means, a unique place of holiness. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm landing. And if the recognition of God and the connection we have to God starts with awe, then of course we feel God when we have that awe about the natural world, whether it's a flower blooming or the first tomato or the waterfalls or the sky. If we have that moment of awe, of course we connect with God.
Yes.
There's a line, and I don't know who said it to begin with, but the idea that creation is God's first self-revelation. I like that a lot. I like the idea that in creation, and I would extend it to creativity, I can see God's hand. I like that.
I like that a lot. And I think that our creativity is born from God. I think it's one of the ways that we are in God's image.
So how might we, as not coming from traditions that have an automatic reverence for the earth and its produce, and don't have a sense of needing to take care of it because it is divine, because it is holy. Let's brainstorm about how we might be able to work that into what we do. And listeners, if you have ideas, if this is something you do, I would love to hear from you about how you connect yourself with God and nature, creation, creativity, however you do that consciously. I would be really interested in that. So what do you think? How can we go about that?
In my own personal spiritual time, sometimes I really do connect with God by being outdoors. There's something very life-giving about being out in nature for me, particularly being by like a stream. One of the things that I really discovered that I have a love for when I moved to California was redwoods. And I feel just a real reverence isn't the word, but an awe. I have an awe for the trees, and I feel safe among them. I feel like they are like protectors in a way. They're just so big and like so strong and so interesting in weird, unusual ways. The way they connect with each other and the way they protect the environment they're in is really astounding. I did a devotional piece on that actually in our book, and I find redwoods fascinating. But I think that for me, and I know there are other people of faith that I'm close to that connect to God in nature. Like you, I don't believe nature is God, but I do believe that sometimes for me, I sense God and seem to feel a closeness to God when I'm in nature. But I think a lot of it may have to do with simply separating from where I'm usually living, working, breathing, and getting off into like a more serene, more quiet, more, I don't know, just a more native place. But I can also feel that in the city and among architecture, like you mentioned, and there are other places, obviously, that I find God. Nature is a place where I find God. And I do think that one way that we can show reverence to God is by showing reverence to God's creation. And that's not just nature, that's also people and everything that God is a part of, which is everything.
Right.
So one way that we can show worship and reverence toward God is to be kind to all of God's creation.
Right.
And I think that's a way that it connects to my own spirituality too.
That makes sense. So we could do that. Obviously, creation care is important, right? Becoming more conscious of how, and if we aren't conscious of the fact that we have an effect on the world, the physical world yet, we're not paying attention.
We're just not.
Right?
Yeah.
So part of what we can do is acknowledge that it is our task to restrain and refrain from the kinds of damage we do to the natural world and find different ways to do that. Not because we want to have a nice natural world, but because it is a reflection of God.
Yes.
Right? So it is important. Another way we might do it, and again, I'm just spitballing, another way we might do it is, how we'll say thanks to God when we have food. Suppose we say thanks to the food. Like, thank you to the corn, thank you to the rice, thank you to the grapes that made the wine. Like recognizing that even if it's not sentient life, although there's plenty of people who eat sentient life, it took the death of something to become our nourishment.
Yeah, that's right.
So recognizing that might be useful is, saying thank you to the thing, make it a conscious effort. Make it a part of your ritual to say thank you to the thing and thank you to God for the thing and, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that might be another way to go about it, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think going back to the creation care that you mentioned, a lot of it is just paying attention. We are such consumers in all the connotations of that word. And I think if we could be more mindful of how we consume and what we consume and what we do with what's left over when we're done consuming, I think it would make a huge difference.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we would be honoring God by doing that, because God is in all of this and God called it good.
And God called it all good.
We should call it good too.
We should call it good because it is. It's God's provision for us.
And it's beautiful and shows creativity and all of those things.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. I feel good about this. I feel good about where we've gone with this.
Good.
Next, we've got to talk about sprites and fairies and whatever those little dust things are that are in Shinto. I've forgotten what they're called, but they have a little, they're that would be fun. We should just do an episode on the creatures of cultural places. I don't know. We could start with leprechauns.
Oh, leprechauns. They're feisty little guys.
Yes, that's what I understand. Yeah, I can't. I think I do need more of this drink, though. So I'm going to say thank you to God for the grapes that went into the wine and into the vermouth and the limes and the lemons and the sugar, probably beets, and all of the things that made this happen.
Definitely. Me too. Listeners, we love hearing from you. We are at cocktailtheology.com. You can give us ideas for cocktail recipes. If you have any great red wine cocktails, we would love to hear. Also, ideas for episodes. We are recording a bunch right now, and we would love to hear any ideas that you have. Any terms maybe that have been wearing on you, and you've been hearing them in culture, in society, or at church, and you're just like, what does that mean? Or why does it make me feel this way?
Oh, yeah.
We would love to hear from you about that. We are queer friendly. We are Christian friendly. We are also other religions friendly. So we want everyone to feel welcome and accepted here, and we want everyone to have opportunities to share what's on their minds.
Yeah.
So please reach out to us.
Yeah, especially if you just have a question.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a dumb question. I don't know. Like why are the walls in here painted this color white? I don't know. And then we could talk about the color white and what does that have to do with? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ask us a question.
Ask us a question.
Ask us a question. We can talk about almost anything for almost any length of time.
We can. It's true. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. New episodes every Thursday.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.